Life is very different now for Paul Peraza and his two friends living in a house in Newington. Prior to this, Paul lived for 30 years in an institution. In this house, his carers encourage Paul to be as independent and as creative as possible. For brother Ferruccio, there's simply no doubt about the benefits.
Paul's background, well, Paul's 46, Down syndrome, lived at home till he was about 16. From the age of 16 onwards, he's been institutionalised. It's just too difficult to manage him at home. We all moved out, the other three brothers, and pretty much mum was on her own. He's been under care for a good 30 years now. Before he was in the community house, it was living in mass. It was sleeping in dormitories, communal bathrooms, being fed en masse, a lot of people, probably not enough carers. There wasn't the ability to give him the attention to identify personal needs. There wasn't the ability to give him the personal development that he's had now. It was tough. It was a tough area to live in. It was tough for families to visit. It was tough to endure. Paul now lives in the community, and I can honestly say he's part of that community. He lives in a wonderful house, a new house with his two best mates that he spent a lot of time with when he was institutionalised. If we go out, we go to Paul's club, he signs us in. We go to Paul's local shopping centre to have coffee. He's known, they're all known, they're all accepted. We have no reservations whatsoever, and probably what drives it home is Mum. Mum's 80 and she's never felt better about Paul and his future.
Because Paul went into care into a large government-run facility in his teenage years after his father had died, and he went into that care and into that setting, and he really, and as told to us by his family, closed down into himself and stopped participating as much. He was very quiet, very shy, quite withdrawn, didn't participate actively in a lot of the things around him, and just closed off from the world. And moving out of the facility where he lived has meant an amazing change for him. Within the first few years, he started to engage. It's like he's come alive, and he's living a full life, and he enjoys the interaction with people. He has lots of activities.
Success for me means that this guy beside me is happy and happy in that he's achieving goals he's never had. He's working. He goes to art classes, he plays sport, he's part of a community, he's with his mates, and I'm invited into his home. And I'm made to feel welcome when I come into his home. That's what drives us home. And the fact that Mum's ecstatic about it as well. 5-star outcome, that's how I'd rate it. I couldn't, in 5 years it's been a quantum leap, an absolute quantum leap in not only Paul, but his mates as well.